Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be previewing the Monaco game and sort of reviewing where City are at. 5 games unbeaten. Positivity is coming back to the fan base. I'm joined by Daps, bro. 5 games unbeaten, man. Feeling good, bro, yeah?
Yeah, bro. I've made my decision early. I said 10 games to decide where we are and if Pep was the right man. What are we? I think are we 7 games in all comps?
Yeah, because we've done 6 in the Prem. Yeah, 7 games. Yeah, 6 in the Prem, 1 Champions League, 1 Carabao. Yeah.
I've seen enough to know that Pep is the right man for the job, and I think we will be in a title race.
What gives you that confidence?
It's not just us, by the way. That's down to watching the other 2 teams at the moment. I think Arsenal aren't as good as I thought they were, and Liverpool aren't as good as I thought they were. I don't think the distance between them and us, if you take all things into context of where we are, fact that we had less of a summer, and that will never be spoke about, right? But we did have less of a summer, so we expected us to probably take a few more games more to warm up. I just think with the players we've got coming back as well, and I don't know, you know what? We'll know even more in the next month, but I think if we can keep this form up, and very important, we can't drop this form off. Like, even now, these next 2 games before the international break, if you think where we were before the last international break, we just lost to Tottenham and Brighton, right? If we get a result tonight and get a result against fucking Brentford, yeah, we're going into an international break, I think, with something like in between those, what is it? Something like, it would be 6 wins and a draw.
6. If you win these next 2 games, it's 6 wins and a draw.
6 wins and a draw.
Yeah.
And it is an if. I'm not presuming because both of them are away games, but I don't know. I just think we're starting to look good. There's still this myth that we look bad defensively, but I personally think you throw bring Kuzanov back, and I don't think we do at all remotely. I think.
No, I agree. You know what's about what it is for me? Yeah, is that like I'm seeing some signs of like major sort of improvement. So going to what you just said, the defense has been a major. It was let's be honest, last year our defense was shambolic, bro.
Yeah, it was.
It was shambolic. So it was always going to get better than last year, but how better was it going to get? To be honest, I think I personally would say there's been a major improvement in our defending. I think there's been I wouldn't say major, but there's probably been like a semi-major improvement in our midfield as well. Because our midfield was part of the problem when it comes to
our midfield was a big part of the top problem last season.
It was awful, bro.
Yeah.
But that even without Rodri this year, I think we've looked better in the midfield. But I'm seeing signs of material improvement over all areas of the football pitch. Goalkeeper, defense, midfield, and actually our attack as well.
And that is the key, right? That if I look at this right now and I look at what I'm seeing at City, this weekend I felt a bit fucking on Saturday and Sunday doing show. Well, Sunday, it was across Sunday. Sunday morning I did a show with Monts, hold tight Monts. And the way, as a Liverpool fan that is, I get it, they're champions, but as a Liverpool fan that has never retained in his lifetime a Premier League, in the last 5 years, how many times Liverpool had bad seasons? And their bad seasons, where did they finish? One of them was outside of Champions League football, right?
Yeah, it was.
We have one bad season and we finished third, right?
Yep.
And the way all of a sudden Liverpool fans feel they can talk to City fans like they know about winning leagues and they know about, it's like, all right. And then I had Hooks tell me that Arsenal have got their 3 hardest games of the season out of the way. United away, right?
Yeah.
Liverpool away and Newcastle away. And I said, nah, the Etihad will be one of your toughest games this season. He goes, will it? Really? I said, hold on, bro. You've never won there. The last time you won there was 2015, right? So just because you beat us last season when we were a completely different team, to think that you come into the Etihad and getting a win is normal, bro. You haven't done it in the last 10 years, right? So I do feel a bit, but I'm looking at both of those teams most importantly, right? And I'm going, right, Liverpool last season, defensively, were they better last season or this season so far from what you've seen?
Oh, last season, yeah, definitely.
Right. Midfield, better last season or this season?
To be honest, probably better last season.
And up top?
Well, it's basically Salah FC up top in it, so yeah, probably better than last season as well.
Now,
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
Of course, the caveat is that if that front line, because I don't think by the way, the defense side of things, I don't think that will improve, right? I don't think
what Liverpool's defense?
Huh?
Liverpool's defense.
Yeah, Liverpool's defense. I don't think it will improve. I think it has the potential to get worse. I think at the moment Van Dijk is absolutely saving them defensively. Van Dijk has been good this season. He's been good. Yeah, there's no slander here for Van Dijk at the moment because he's been good. Yeah, but if they miss Van Dijk for any games, I really fucking worry about that.
I said, I can't remember who I was on with yesterday. I think it was Potsy's channel. I was on Potsy and said, listen, I think Van Dijk for me is holding that whole defense together at the moment because Kanate. I'm a big fan of Kanate, yeah, but Kanate has been absolutely awful this season.
Kanate looks like he's tapped out or something. Looks like
he's out of contract at the end of the season, isn't he? So he's probably thinking about his next gaff.
Bro, about 3 weeks ago, he was heavily linked with Madrid. I'm sure I saw something. I might be wrong, but I'm sure I saw reports that he basically an agreement was being done with Madrid already between him and Madrid. But then, you look at, and I said this all summer, it's great that you're chasing Verts, great that you've got Ekitike and Isaac, but you've only got Kanate, Van Dijk, and Gomez. They then went and got that Leone. Well, he's now injured. He's out for fucking months. Mm-hmm. So I think they're one injury away at the back. And, the thing is with Liverpool, the one thing I would say, of course, if Verts, fucking Isaac, and Ekitike or Salah, whoever it is, if that clicks, then... But it hasn't clicked yet. So at the moment, something hasn't clicked. And I can't lie. I think when we're playing them, if we keep this form up, it could be a good time to play them.
Well, that's why, I agree. But that's why, going back to what you said at the start of the video, is this form that we're in at the moment, we have to, and the results, we have to keep this up.
Yeah, we have to.
I think we've had a really solid 2.5 weeks. Yeah, really, really solid. Like some good results in there. You know what I mean? And, even the Arsenal results, not a bad point on the road. 4 wins and a draw, right? And I know people will say, well, one against Napoli was 10 men, United is shit, Huddersfield, blah, blah, blah. You can only beat who's in front of you, chat. Yeah, you can only beat who's in front of you.
We heard this United was shit, and then United go and beat Chelsea, right? So football's a weird thing, but for me, we know where we were going into that United game, and I think Pep's done a fucking great job this season at trying to work out what his best 11 is, right? Mm-hmm. With injuries as well, because we've already had significant injuries. He's worked out, he's changed, he's tinkered, and he's worked out what his best 11 is, right? And I've said this before, the 2 games we lost, Vardy was not playing. If Liverpool were playing without...
Did he not play either of the 2 games we lost? No.
He came back against Man United. So you think about that, bro. You think about that, right? Kuzanov started against Brighton. Came off, we conceded. So you put those 2 in now. Any other club, all of this, what I'm saying now, everyone would know because you would not hear the end of it. If Van Dijk was out and Liverpool were losing games, it would be, but Van Dijk's out. If Arsenal were losing games because Gabriel was out, it would be, but Gabriel's out. Not one person said, but City's player of the season last season wasn't there for Tottenham or Brighton. No one said it, right? Because it's just, they don't want to give context with us. And what you said before about, so we've worked out at the moment, Liverpool have not got better. Have City got better defensively than last season?
Yeah, we got better all over the gaff. Yeah.
So, and that's where, and then I go back to, now I'll go back to the fundamentals. Do we have a world-class manager that knows how to win leagues? Yes, we do. Do we have a group of players that have been there, done that, and wore the T-shirt? Yes, we do. So I'm kind of there going, we're in a title race.
And all right, so let me ask you a question then. Let me ask you a question. Why are so many people saying, and some of these guys are respectable pundits, whatever, people who know about football. Why are so many people then, based off everything you just said? Why are so many?
I don't know. Pass. You've gone quiet. I can't hear you.
Oh, I pressed the mute button by accident. I find it weird, bro, because I keep on talking about the spine in our team. I spoke about it a lot over the last week or so. Every time I go on stream and say chat, right? You got to look at the spine of Manchester City's team here. Donnarumma, Yashin winner, won the best goalkeeper in the world last year officially by that award, right? Yep. Gvardiol Diaz, and Diaz is looking better when he plays next to Haaland. And Rodri's back fit, Foden and Haaland. That is one of the, if not the best spine in world football.
Yeah, fact. And bro, and this is the thing. Then you're looking at, and again, not just to Pep. Shout out to Pep and shout out to the whole coaching staff, yeah, and even the fact that Pep is allowing the coaching staff, because I do think Pep Linders has had a fucking impact. I do
as well, especially when it comes to the wingers, bro.
Yeah, Doku.
There's no surprise to me, that we get this Pep Linders, Donny, who talks about using wingers as inside forwards, and all of a sudden you're seeing Doku play as more of an inside forward.
Facts. And it's just one of them things where I can imagine he's walked in, and it wouldn't have even been difficult to convince Pep. He would have said, "You played with wingers last season. How did that work out for you?" Right?
Yeah, not great.
Okay, and of course we saw what he did at Liverpool with inside forwards as well. So I think at the moment, like, I'm really happy with most. I mean, by the way, O'Reilly as well as a left back. And this is the thing, even with O'Reilly, because if we're being fair, to City, and I know at the back end of last season, I'm not going to sit here and say we were fucking formidable at the back end of last season. Yeah. But factually, we were the most informed team in the Premier League at the back end of last season. Correct. With a defence of Vardiel, Diaz, Nunes, and O'Reilly, right?
Yeah.
Now, we've brought in Donnarumma. We've got Rodri back, right? That defense instantly becomes better by having them two there. And then you bring in Kuzanov, who's defensively worlds apart to Nunes. Again, you get stronger. It's just... But then the other thing is the fact that we're keeping the ball more. Like, Doku's looking like a machine, bro.
Bro, Doku's moving mad, I can't lie. But just quickly, I'm going back to that whole defensive situation. I'm looking at the last 9 games of the season in the Premier League. Yeah. How many goals do you reckon we conceded? Last 9 games of the Premier League.
I don't know. This is completely off the top of my head. I'm going to go with 8.
4.
Fucking hell, for real?
For real, bro. Yeah, we conceded 2 against Palace, 1 against Villa, 1 against Bournemouth.
Mad. So they
this is what I'm saying. So when do people keep on saying, "Oh, City's defense is still shit," bro? It's not been shit since about February, January, December, November last year.
Bro, I'm sorry, but we factually were the best team. I never knew. So in the last 9 games, we only conceded 4 goals in the league.
4 goals in the league. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. We beat Leicester 2-0, 0-0 against United. We beat Palace 5-2, so there's 2. We beat Everton 2-0. We beat Villa 2-1, that's your 3rd. Wolves 1-0. Southampton 0-0. Bournemouth we won 3-1, that's your 4th. Fulham last game of the season 2-0 win.
Mad that.
We conceded 4 goals in the last 9 games of the season, bro. 2 of them come in one game.
Even at the moment, and this is a mad thing, that I do think bare content creators, and I'm probably the same, but we're so inconsistent, or arguments don't even make sense. Like for Arsenal fans to be telling me our defense still looks shaky, and I'm thinking, well, you didn't score till the 90th fucking minute, right? So did we really look shaky? Did you
exactly? And this is going back to that point, against Arsenal. I remember doing a watch along, right? And in that first half, I was losing my shit because we couldn't get the ball. And then after like 10 minutes, I was like, hang on a minute, chat. They're not actually doing it.
Yeah.
They're not actually doing anything with it. And then I started to calm down and go, oh wait, you know what it actually reminded me of, bro? Last time we played like that was the treble year. Now I'm not trying to say we're going to win the treble or we're going to be as good at the treble. But the last time I remember City willingly let the opposition have the ball was the treble year.
Well, bro, do you know, you're right. Since the treble year, what was that? What was the chant? Edison and Aki, Walker and Akanji, Ruben Diaz, best defense in Europe. Bro, since the treble season, I have refused to sing that song at the ground because I'm like, what are you watching if you think we're the best defense in Europe? Like, the songs jarred me because I'm thinking, that's cheeky. That is cheeky. But you're right, bro. The best Arsenal player in that first half was Noni Madueke, right? He didn't get a fucking sniff.
He didn't get a sniff, man.
And this is the thing that all of this, the whole Arsenal talk about that, and I just think you came up against a City team that had a plan, scored first, and then sit back, right? And me as a City fan, speaking honestly, I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel threatened.
No, I didn't. But it took me a while in the game to realise that. Because at first, you do what every fan does and goes, we can't get a fucking ball, man. We're shit. We can't get a ball, blah, blah, blah. You know, you're losing your shit a little bit. You're getting stressed. You're getting annoyed because you can't get a ball. And Arsenal dominating and they're zipping it around left, right. And you're like, we're getting fucking battered. And then you go, hold on a minute. They've done this for the last 10 minutes. They've not even done anything with it. And then you go, oh, shit. You know what? This shows me that we can be a resilient team. And you know what? We were very, very close to getting the 3 points. In the end, we fucked it up, right? But for the large majority of the game, we're doing that. The stats prove that we're not conceding that many goals. So we've improved there. Yeah, so
15 goals, 15 goals for and 2 games against in the last 4 games, is it?
Last 4 games, yeah, we've done 5, so 6, 9, 10. So yeah, sorry, all competitions off Premier League.
All comps.
Yeah, so all competitions. You obviously got your you got your 5-1, you got your 2-0 against Huddersfield, you got your 2-0 against Napoli, your 1-1 against Arsenal, your 3-0 against United.
So it's 13 goals. So 13 goals for, and how many against? 2. This is a thing. But do you know what? I can't lie. I think Pep's enjoying this underdog thing. And I can't lie. I'm kind of sat at the moment. Like, let me be clear with what I say. I'm not saying we're going to win the league now, yeah? Because I think at this point, that is arrogant, right? For anyone to say that. From what we've seen so far this season, for anyone to be saying for me, but we are definitely going to be in a title race.
I definitely think we're going to be up there, man. Because for me, when I'm looking at the team, yeah, and I'm looking at the way that we're playing in that, and I'm looking at the core players. I'm looking at Donnarumma. I'm looking at Rodri's back, and he's obviously back from injury today. He's back in training. I'm looking at Haaland. I think I've already said this, but I think this version of Haaland looks like the best Haaland I've ever seen. Yeah. I can't see us not being in a title race when you've got that spine. My major concern is outside that spine. So I'm talking the right back, the left winger, the right winger. Now, at the start of the season, I was really, really, really fucking concerned about it because we don't have a right back. Now he's starting to play Huzanov there, so that's a tick in the box. Okay, don't give you the attacking threat, but to be honest with you, with your 2 midfielders, your 3 attackers, your left back, you should be fine. I'm looking at my left back, Nico O'Reilly, who looks fucking mega at the moment, and I'm looking at Doku, who probably on form is the best winger in world football, maybe apart from Yamal. Let's not be shameless, but he's one of the best wingers in world football. So now I've gone from 4 positions to being worried about to just 1, which is the right winger. Because I'm looking at Bob, I'm looking at Savio, I'm thinking neither of yous are probably at the level that I'm looking at right now. Yeah. Maybe you could elevate. Maybe Cherky could be played on the right. Maybe he'll stick Foden. I don't know. Yeah. But basically, I've gone from a concern of 4 positions in the team to now going at the moment, and it is only at the moment. I'm only worried about 1 position, which is the right winger.
Yeah, in fact,
everywhere else, I'm looking and going, I'm pretty calm.
And just on the Kuzanov thing quickly, I think it makes sense. I mean, look, from the minute we signed him and I looked at him, I said at the time, I could see him being the Kyle Walker replacement. And then straight away when people go, oh, is he a right back? I said, yeah, but remember the treble season when we played a centre-back at right back? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it makes the way City play football, it can make us stronger. So, and
the thing is, Daps as well, yeah, you don't need to play Huzanov right back every single game. So, like when you're playing your Burnleys at home, I wouldn't have played. I know he was injured. I wouldn't have started Huzanov anyway. I would have started Nunes because I wanted a tackle. When I'm playing anybody decent, and we've got to be honest here, anybody for me that's like 13th and up, I'd probably be playing Huzanov because I think, you're looking at the mid-table teams these days, they're pretty fucking good. So for me, the only teams I probably play Huzanov at right back is bottom 7 teams. Nunes. The only teams I play Nunes against is the bottom 7 teams. However, when you're going away from home, I would also consider potentially playing Huzanov regardless of who you're playing.
Yeah, facts.
Just because, you're away from home, be a bit more solid.
But then when you look at this, I actually think, do you know what? This is the right thing to do, especially even more after you just said that. But I knew that Diaz and Vardio had been good at the back end of last season, right? Now, when we look at that, they conceded 4 goals between them as a centre-back partnership. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and again, like I said to you, bro, the games we lost this season, Vardio was not playing, right? You put... And there is, with Ruben Diaz, I've been saying this. Look, I'm not going to sit here and act like... I think for probably a year and a half, we sat there and we watched Diaz not look as good and didn't speak on it maybe enough because of the credit in the bank, yeah. But you can't go from being a Premier League player of the season to being shit, right? And especially when you haven't hit 32, 33, you can't just go from being that to that.
Well, he's in his prime years.
Yeah. So for me, we've got a player that has been at one point potentially the best defender in the league, to a player that we all know, all think will one day be the best Premier League, best defender in the league, right? That is a partnership. Kuzanov as well. I think now that the key now, though, right, is two things. Firstly, get 2 more wins before the international break, right?
Yeah,
That's massive.
I agree. That you know what? That I don't think. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I don't think some City fans are understanding just how big that would be if we can win these next
huge,
2 games.
bro.
It would be absolutely. If we can end this week, before the international break with 2 more wins, that'll be 7 games unbeaten, 6 wins and a draw. Yeah, that's 6 points out of 6 in the Champions League. Yeah, maybe Liverpool or Arsenal might drop points this weekend, and you can close the gap even. That would be absolutely massive.
You know what, bro? The thing is, at the moment, we just need to keep them within touching distance, right? Because I said this before. When a lorry is driving and it's in its top gear, it's moving at a pace that you can't fucking stop, right? It's very difficult. That's why lorries do not like braking. When a lorry brakes, it takes a while to work back through those gears. Yeah. It needs to get some momentum.
Facts.
Right? Once you get momentum, it's difficult to stop again. And this is where we are. Like, we need to become that confident team that we were. Because last season, it wasn't just that we were bad for those 11 games. It's or however many games it was, 11 or 15, whatever it was, around that number. It was what that knock-on effect was. We got stopped. This juggernaut that was moving got stopped, right? And now we've got
the lorry crashed into a fucking brick wall, mate.
Literally, bro, didn't break, boom, stopped dead, right? And now we have to work back through it with a new group of players. And I even like things that Pep's saying. Pep's talking about these new players need to build that mentality. These new players need to build that winning mentality. But what a group of players they've got round them to build it off of.
Yeah. No, 100%, man, 100%. But, going back to, the conversation earlier on, is just like, the momentum, has to continue, because everyone's sitting here now, some people are a bit more optimistic than others, but, I'm sort of like, I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm feeling pretty good. But I'm telling you now, if we fucking lose against Monaco, it's going to reset the clock again, because I'm going to be like, there you go. You know what I mean? That's the momentum killer. We're back at 0 again, and now we've got to work our way back up.
You know what? Because it is one of those things where sometimes in life, I don't know about you, but sometimes you do feel like it's 1 step forwards, 2 steps back, when actually it isn't. You've just fucking, you've had 1 setback. It's not, but that 1 setback can make you feel a certain way. And I don't know. I just think we have to keep this momentum going. This momentum came from returning from the international break, where this is the other thing. You got to think from a player's point of view. A lot of these players aren't just looking at the games we had. After the Tottenham and Brighton games, most of our players went away on international duty and won both their games, right? So from a player's point of view, like, remember, Doku was cooking for Belgium before he came back to City. So all of a sudden, a lot of our players were at a point, and one thing that I like now is we're starting. Last season, Savio's a good example that he was a player coming into a City team that was dysfunctional, right? If you look at now, Cherki, Marmoush, Ait Nouri, Kovacic as well, they're returning to a City team that are functional and confident again.
They're not coming into the team that stressed.
Nah.
They're coming into the team going, I don't have to fucking carry the team today because everyone else is doing everything. And this is why I feel like last year, it was no surprise to me last year that Haaland had his worst year for Manchester City last year, because he knew every time he stepped on that pitch, he knew that he's got to score about 3 goals a game because nobody else was going to score and the defense would concede at least 2. So every time he got a chance, he was thinking, fuck, I've got to score this, otherwise we're fucked. You know what I mean? Whereas now he's going, I missed this.
We limit as well to, this is one's on Pep, that also last season it was a system that wasn't playing to Haaland's strengths.
Yeah, exactly. So
And it wasn't like previously when it's been a system that maybe doesn't play to Haaland's strengths, but you've got players like Gundogan, you've got players like Kevin De Bruyne. And by the way, Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan last season were not the Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan I'm talking about. Yeah. So all of a sudden, the midfield we had weren't finding Haaland. The wingers weren't finding Haaland. Whereas now, I'm looking at it now, right, and I'm going, do you know what? I want Marmoush to come back, and now Marmoush is not like
starter.
For me. He's not a starter. For me, Marmoush is Haaland backup. For me.
Well, at the moment. Well, listen. For me, I just like having competition for places, and there are some fans who don't get it, Daps, because I've spoke about it. I said this before. I said when Aït-Nouri comes back to the team, he's on the bench, and I've seen some City fans saying, "Oh, you've had enough of Aït-Nouri now, have you? You want to get rid of him?" No. It's called competition.
Yeah.
You know when we won the treble year? You know when we won the treble? I just say this, man, because I've got to remind people, because some people forgot this already, which is bizarre. In that final, on the bench, we had Phil Foden, Julian Alvarez, Kyle Walker, Cole Palmer, Laporte, all on the bench. Mahrez, all on the bench.
Yeah.
Competition for places. Elite level performers.
Do you know what? That's mad.
But people have forgotten it, Daps. I've seen City fans go, "Oh, we can't sign this player because what'll happen to that other player?" What do you mean? What happened? It's called competition, man. This is you can't have 11 players and then a load of crap fucking ballers on the bench. You got to have quality players everywhere, and this is why for me, when Marmoush comes back, no, he doesn't come straight back into the team. No. That doesn't mean he's being sold. That means you know what that means, chat. Yeah, that means Marmoush, you got to up your game. I tell you what, Marmoush, you displaced Doku out the side. Doku's on smoke right now. You want to get Doku's position? You be better than Doku. You want to be better than Haaland? Be better than Haaland. Yeah, that's what it's about. But some people, for some reason, go through this weird mentality where they go, we can't have good players on the bench, because if you have good players on the bench, then they'll leave, like Alvarez and Mahrez, even though that squad brought us the greatest ever year in Manchester City Football Club's history, bro, with the treble.
Bro, do you know what? I've always said this, yeah? I feel like with City, so the one thing that Khaldoon always says, and we always hear it, is we want to compete in every trophy, right? Not we want to win every trophy. What he sets as the standards is we want to compete and go as far in every trophy, right?
Yeah.
So I've always thought when you sign for Manchester City, no one's being guaranteed. Listen, of course, someone will now say, well, what about Erling Haaland? I get it. There's certain players, that as far as they're concerned, they should start every game. But Nico Gonzalez, as an example, Manchester City will not have. I don't believe that Nico Gonzalez has joined Manchester City thinking that once Rodri's fit, he's going to be starting every game, right? But I do believe that Nico Gonzalez probably hopes that this season, Manchester City are going deep in the Champions League, are competing for the league, are going deep in the FA Cup and going deep in the Carabao Cup. Therefore, Nico Gonzalez will probably end the season with 40 appearances, right?
Yeah, probably.
And that is, but the aim is, all right, and usually if you look at City, you end the season with 40 appearances and a trophy or two, right? Alternatively, go to a different club, be the starter, be the first name on the team sheet, but probably expect that club ends up dropping off, because if you don't use your squad properly, you ain't going to win fuck all.
Well, who was the Nico Gonzalez in the Manchester City year? Alvarez? In the treble year, sorry. In the treble year, who was the Nico Gonzalez in the treble year for Manchester City?
If you were to look at what you're meaning...
you know what I mean? Like, who was that?
So
Alvarez?
look at how many minutes Alvarez got in that.
Alvarez that year played 2,500 minutes, and he played 49 football matches.
There we go. Perfect example. Perfect. Bro, I remember the season, I think Bernardo Silva's second season, the season when Bernardo Silva had had the situation with Mendy, and so Pep took him out of the limelight and didn't play him too much, right? I remember looking at that and the number of games he played, because I thought, we didn't really see too much of Bernardo Silva. Went and looked at the number of games he played, and he played like 45 games or something like that. This is a thing. It's a squad game. And at the moment, I just think the key is that we've got players coming back. And now, like, Aït-Nouri so far has not impressed me, right? But firstly, I think it's, you know, he caught, I think in 2 of the games he got knocks that we've played, right?
I think so. Yeah.
2 of the games he's got knocks. And again, we didn't have the Vardy or Diaz partnership at the back, which is a valid thing. So I think now Ike Nori's coming back into a team that's a lot more solid defensively, and now Ike Nori can maybe do more of what Ike Nori was actually bought for, which is probably going forward.
Well, yeah, exactly, because, you know, if you're playing Huzanov right back, you can go to a bit of a back three with Gvardiol, Diaz and Huzanov, and you can push Ike Nori further forward. Like, if you look at the Brighton game, for example, where he didn't really manage to get forward at that much, Ike Nori, he got cooked defensively. You know, this is the thing. But the thing is about Nori, you know, again, he's getting a big step change in quality.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but the guy's coming from Wolves. Yeah, he's gonna take him a little bit of time to adapt. But you know, the thing is though, I think this Nico O'Reilly emergence at left back thing, we obviously saw it last year. This is probably good for Ike Nori, because Ike Nori's going to come back now and he's going to be like, I'm going to have to really work hard to get back. He doesn't just come back and go, oh, I've been not great since I come to Manchester City. I'm walking straight back into the team. It's like, nah, bro. You know, you got to up your game if you want to get back. And this is what it's all about. It's all about competition for places. Is what we've got to have.
And the most important thing with this that we have to remember, is we want players with a mentality that is, I'm not starting. I'm mint. Right, so I'm gonna make sure I'm not gonna we don't want players that are fucking divas that go, well, fuck this. I want to leave. We want players that go, nah, I'm good enough to earn my place, and I want to be in a team.
That's what it's about, man. 100%.
And if it is a player that's going, oh, like say Nico Gonzalez in the summer, and I do believe someone had told me that he's had some personal issues. But if Nico Gonzalez decided in the summer, do you know what? I don't like the amount of game time I've got. I'm going after 6 months. Then for me, his mentality is not right. I wouldn't want him anyway. Players that walk away at the first sign of having to... bro, remember Aguero when we first got Jesus? He got dropped, bro. What did he do? He worked fucking harder. That's what it is. And I'm telling you now, if Haaland... Say Marmoush started a couple of games and bagged a few goals, right?
Yeah.
And Pep actually thought, do you know what? We're going to run with this for a bit. I know straight away that Haaland is the type of guy that will probably be thinking, that's affecting my numbers. I want to break some more records, so I want to start. Bro, you won't see Haaland putting in for a transfer. Haaland will think, now, fuck that. Next time I play, I'm bagging 6 goals or something mental like that.
No, it's definitely right. I mean, the way Haaland's playing at the moment, fucking hell. I mean, like I say, I think, I don't know about you, I think this is the best version of Haaland we've ever seen, bro. I'm not going to be real with you.
Do you know why you know it's the best version of Haaland, Because you look at his numbers, right, already, goals-wise, and he's fucking well above everyone else in the league. But and that's usually where we stop with Haaland. Maybe as City fans, we give him a bit more credit, but usually we stop with, just look at his goals. Bro, the Arsenal game, the Man United game, the way he's getting back and getting involved defensively. That first goal, that goal against Arsenal, sorry, not the first goal, that was created by Haaland, right? Some of the passing I've seen from Haaland this season.
Oh, bro. It's getting a lot. It's you know, because a lot of people have said, like, he needs to do the Harry Kane thing. And I've always been like, I don't think he'll ever be able to do the Harry Kane thing. And I don't think he'll ever be able to do the Harry Kane thing to the level of Harry Kane.
He won't be spraying balls like Harry Kane.
No, because Harry Kane's a joke, But, if he can add just a small element into that, which he looks like he is doing, bro, like, this guy's going to go up levels again. And this is what I'm seeing. And this is why I've said, I think this is the best version of Erling Haaland. He's on 9 goals for City already, 18 GNA for club and country this season, which is crazy, bro. Yeah, crazy. Some strikers won't even get that in the whole season.
Yeah, facts.
And he's got it in a month.
Yeah.
So that's just mega.
That's mad. You know what? When you look at it, this is the thing. But with him is the fact that you're not just talking about his goals as well. You're talking about his whole involvement. And the other thing is, away from the defending, away from the fact that his passing, I think, is improving, his holding up of the ball, his maturity. Yeah, that Arsenal game, that was a mad, mature performance from Haaland, you know. The way he didn't get involved in any bullshit once, right? It's like ever since he got given well, made part of that leadership group when he got his new contract. Yeah, he's looked like he's matured, bro. Looked like he's matured.
I've got a mad stat for you here, Daps. Yeah, all right, chat. Listen to this, right? So Erling Haaland this season has scored 8 Premier League goals for Manchester City. Right, we played 6 games. If he scored 8 Premier League goals in the entirety of last season, where do you think he would have come on the top scorers Premier League?
I'm gonna go with 15th. Nah. Fuck that. It's got to be further than that. Nah. 25th. Nah.
If Erling Haaland last year scored 8 goals in the Premier League, he would have been the 12th highest Premier League goal scorer last season.
Fucking hell.
So he's already matched the 12th top goal scorer from last year, which was Jacob Murphy, Bruno Fernandes, and Morgan Rogers. All got 8 goals, and Erling Haaland's done it in 6 matches.
Yeah. But do you know what's nice right now? Yeah, because all summer we heard Gyökeres is going to come and take his crown, and now I'm already seeing Arsenal fans going, "Oh, who said that? I didn't see anyone say that. I fucking did." Right? You can say it now. And Isak, we've heard Isak is a better footballer. Whatever a better footballer even means, right? Because surely a footballer is based on what your position is, right? To how you should be judged as a footballer. But apparently not. Apparently it's about how good you look on the ball and whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at these players and I'm thinking, I'm even on to Isak already, bro. I'll be honest with you, yeah? Because there's you pay that much money for that type of player. I expect you to be impacting games. So, but Daps, to be fair, Isak didn't bag against Palace because the whole team wasn't good. Bro, I don't care. There's never been a game where Haaland's had that luxury, right? Haaland bags Haaland was 1 goal behind Isak in a completely dysfunctional City team last season, right? He's an absolute fucking monster, but it's nice that now it's not just the goals we're talking about, it's his overall contribution to the game. And I also think, bro, Erling Haaland might be one of the catalysts I think his mentality has been very important in the last couple of months.
I agree, and obviously he's been added to the captains group now as well, which I think is crucial. You know what I mean? And I think we've got a few of these players. You know, you look at Haaland, you look at the likes of Foden, players that are like 24, 25, going on 26, that are like they're making the transition from they're still a kid to no, actually now you're about 20, your prime years, you're very experienced. You've both played nearly 400 football matches for club and country. Haaland's probably played more than that. You're now one of the more and this is why, like, I personally would throw Foden into the captain's group.
People have been saying that, you know.
I think he needs to be thrown in there, bro, because I think he needs to be pushed and like, right, no, you're not a kid no more. Yeah, you're the fucking guy that's got to get us across the line. Haaland, you're the same. So I think it's great that Haaland's in the captain's group. And
the only thing is, I think maybe, you know what? I actually think, because I think Donnarumma is going to be in that fucking leadership group very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise
me. Rightly so.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Bernardo's going to go at the end. So maybe next season it might be Foden and Donnarumma up in that leadership
wouldn't
group.
Surprise me.
No, I just think like things that I'm seeing from Haaland, he just, and Donnarumma as well, by the way, Donnarumma, those two, the mentality there is just different. I don't know. And even Pep seems to be playing, I don't know if he's playing underdog or villain at the moment, but Pep seems very...
I'm like what I'm seeing from Pep in press conferences. I actually clocked it before the press conference for the Napoli game, right? And the pre-match press conference. I went on the stream, and I said to the chat, listen, lads, has anyone seen Pep in the press conference today? This was for the Napoli game. I said, he seems really, really relaxed, laid back. He's having a bit of a laugh. He's chilling. He's joking. He's happy. Like, I feel like Pep has found peace with the squad, and he's
trust, bro.
He's trusting it, and he's working it out. You know, maybe at the start of the season, maybe Club World Cup, maybe he couldn't work it out. All these new players, we're still trying to integrate the players from January. Got players coming back, Rodri's coming back, blah 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 blah. Who's going? And I think it kind of fucked him up a little bit. Yeah, I don't think he knew what was going on, and I think he was like trying to work shit out. And then he's probably being told by Viana that he's going, Savinho's going, and that now he's staying, and he's probably just fucked him up. Now the transfer window's closed. Now he knows who he's got in the squad. Now he knows who's fit. I think he's like starting to work it out. And I just think he looks well chilled. And you're seeing it now with the results. 5 games unbeaten. So let's see what happens, man. But listen, before we wrap it up, we got obviously Monaco. It's the second Champions League game. Obviously, last year we paid the price for a poor Champions League phase set of results. We drew the first game last year.
Yeah, Bratislava.
Yeah. We smacked them up. Yeah, obviously we dropped points in the first game against Inter Milan.
No, but one thing about that Bratislava game, because I personally think our form, last season, I saw signs in the Champions League early doors. Last season, we started off with a draw against Inter.
Yeah.
Even that Bratislava game, you just said we slapped them up. We weren't that good that game.
You know what's funny, mate? Yeah, is I remember, right? I can't remember because we beat Bratislava 4-0 and then we beat Prague 5-0. I can't remember which one it was. But I remember coming off the stream, right, and doing the player ratings or match review and said, chat, I know you're all going to hate me for this because you're going to call me negative. I don't think we played well at all. I think we just like finessed them with clinicalness. Obviously, we don't fucking know, didn't we?
We had like a few late subs came on and bagged a couple against Bratislava. But game, right? Me and Steve proper were watching the Erling Haaland-Doku relationship, right? And it was getting to the point where Haaland was just throwing his hands in the air and like stropping because every time he made a run, Doku was not even looking for him. And we were watching it going, fucking hell, these two, like they're not, and that's what I'm even saying, bro. Even the other day, Doku getting an assist for Haaland. It's just like whatever's going on, and I am starting to think, you know what? Fair play to Pep that he's maybe taken his hands off a little bit and said, Linders, go on.
Do it, sort it out.
Colo, have a go. Like that he's trusting people around him. And even the fact that I think he's trusting like Kuzanov. I think Kuzanov has earned Pep's trust now. I feel like Pep knows, do you know what? Yeah, this kid's ready.
I think he does as well because he's done nothing wrong. But this is why this game against Monaco, bro, is so big because obviously last year, like we ended up qualifying. We didn't even qualify. We got in the playoff round, and obviously then we got punished because we had to play Real Madrid, and then we're out. We didn't even make the knockout stages for the first time in.
Yeah.
When was the last time we didn't make the knockout stages, mate?
It was something like 9 years or something, wasn't it?
Wow. I mean, that just shows you how bad we were. So for me, this is why this Monaco game is a must-win game. Yeah, because obviously, if you look now, we've got Monaco away, Villarreal away, Dortmund at home. I really believe, Daps, that we should be targeting maximum points. Yeah, that'll put us on 12 points. Yeah, what did we get last year in the Champions League?
Probably about 12 points.
Yeah, so that means,
I swear we might have got, bro, did we get like 11 or something?
Let's have a look. Champions League last season, Manchester City got, here we go, 11 points.
11 points.
That is diabolical. So last year, you qualified in the top 8 with 16 points. So if we
hold on, but when you say it's diabolical, you're forgetting the fact that we played extra games as well this year.
Yeah, I know.
Last year. Yeah.
I know. That's even worse. So for me, obviously we need to be beating Monaco, because we've got to be getting these points. And I want maximum points against Villarreal and Dortmund because when we get into the second half of the campaign, if obviously you look at the fixtures in the second half of the phase, you've got Real Madrid, you've got Leverkusen, you've got Galatasaray, which is I know we're at home, but not an easy game. So for me, I really think we need to be targeting maximum points. If that puts us on 12, that leaves us needing a win and a draw in the final 4, a win and 2 draws to be sure.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to this Monaco game, mate, because obviously we got stuff there a few years ago. I was there, man. It was hanging situation. And
Did you go?
I was there. And, I've never been so depressed in my life at that Monaco game, man. It was horrible.
Oh, do you know what? European aways, losses on European aways always feel so much worse, because the travelling you've got to do afterwards.
Yeah, it was pathetic, man. You know what I mean? But I want a little bit of revenge. Get a win. That's 6 points out of 6. 6 games unbeaten, and then we can go into that game this weekend against Brentford and give it our all and just try and end this little period on a strong man. But do you reckon we'll get the win against Monaco, mate?
Yeah, I do.
I think we will.
Yeah,
as well.
I do. I think Rodri will be back in as well. We look pretty.
Do you think he's going to play Rodri? Would you play Rodri? Do you not think that's a bit of a risk?
It is a risk, but Do you know what? It seems to be that this is the way it's going to be for the time being, where Pep's come out and said, we're working with Rodri. If he says he doesn't feel right, he's not playing. But I feel like we have to at the moment. Like, yeah, we have to. Look, one thing I would say is, I think, right, Nico Gonzalez is not Calvin Phillips, okay?
Yeah.
I do think now with Kovacic coming back, worst case in some games, if we have to play Gonzalez and Kovacic, and see maybe then we get to see maybe what Kovacic can do, what Gonzalez can do more in a pivot as opposed to just being a lone six. Yeah. Because I think then maybe with Kovacic there, Gonzalez might be allowed to go forward a little bit more, and then we can see maybe how that works. But I don't think, from what I'm seeing of Gonzalez, do I trust him like Rodri? No, I don't. But I think he's doing an all right job, you know.
I personally, mate, if it was me, I personally wouldn't be risking Rodri for the Monaco game.
You wouldn't?
No, I'd play Nico Gonzalez and Bernardo Silva in midfield. And then I'd shove Rodri in for the game against Brentford. I think we should have enough with Nico Gonzalez and Bernardo in midfield, and then Foden or Reinders in the 10. I'd probably go Foden, rest Reinders. I think that's enough to beat Monaco. And then this weekend, I'll be putting that fresh Rodri back in the game for Brentford.
Do you know what I'd be saying on Rodri at the moment, yeah? Is I would personally, and they probably are, but I feel like with Rodri, what it is at the moment is they need to be, say there's training now, yeah. When the training finishes, I would be saying to Rodri, right, I need you to now get on a treadmill or get on a fucking bike, maybe even a bike. I need to test like your fitness at this point, right? And it's fine that you've said, all right, you've been training for 2 hours, you haven't felt anything in your knees, so your knee's fine. But I feel like you need to do more than everyone else, because I would rather in training you feel a bit of a pull and we go, okay, now you ain't playing, than you're on a pitch, you're feeling a bit of a pull, you have to sprint, and all of a sudden you pull up. I think we need to be testing his fitness a lot more at this point. And we probably are, to be fair. So I'm probably... But it seemed... Because none of it's been impact. It just seems to be...
I think it's just natural. I think it's not. I think when you do your ACL, I don't think you come back and you're right, I'm fit and ready to go. Let's go. I think it's like, back, feel good. And this week, Matt's knees feeling a bit knackered, and then you just, I think you've got to like, what's it, rehabilitation or whatever.
Rehabilitation,
yeah. I think you just got to do that, innit? You know what I mean? But I just know that if Rodri's not fit, we ain't winning anything, mate. So like that's why I'm being really careful with it. Like I say, for me, you've got a £50 million there in Nico Gonzalez. You should be able to play him against Monaco with Bernardo Silva next to him and still be winning the football match. This weekend, throw Rodri back in for Brentford and say, let's end a week strong. That's how I play it. You know, we'll see how.
Do you know what? You probably are right. Especially when you think today's his first day back in.
Exactly. He's back in training today. Cherky's back as well. Same thing with him. I won't be putting him back in the team anytime soon.
I can't lie. It would be nice to see a bit of Cherky, though. Would be.
Nice don't get me wrong. I'd love to see him because I think the guy's phenomenal and he's fun to watch. But he apparently tore his thigh muscle. They said he was going to be out for 2 months. He's back after 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit concerned about that. So personally, again, maybe take him, put him on a bench, maybe give him 5 minutes, but I won't be asking him to running around for 90 minutes. No. All right, mate. Sweet. So you're predicting a win. I'm predicting a win as well. Let's see what happens, man. It's a big game. Monaco, we really could do with the points, mate. To it's hard, isn't it? It's hard last year for me. I think I misjudged it last year, the Champions League. I was like, I remember that first game against Inter Milan. I was like, just take a point, don't matter. And then at the end of the fucking, I was like, fuck. You know what I mean? It's hard.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if you remember, but I remember doing a show with you in December. It was me, you, and Martin, right? And I was telling you that I would fuck off the Champions League completely at that point.
Yeah, I think I remember. A couple of people said that. Yeah.
I said, for me, I'd completely fuck it off. I don't want to qualify because I don't think we can win it. But I also do think last season. But do you know what? I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet where I think we're going to fucking become world beaters again. But we've got to stay. For me, I would expect us to qualify for the Champions League. And I would rather we fucking make easy work of it, so that when we do start getting, so that when we get to the last, remember what it's usually been like with us, where the last 2 games we can just play a pretty much a second 11. That's where I want to be back there, so that we, for that period round kind of December, early January, where we know the fixtures are congested anyway. It would be nice if we've got the Champions League out of the way. We've got qualification already.
Nah, I hear it, man. Nah, facts. Definitely facts. Right, boys, we'll leave it there, man. Big up to everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Smash a like on the video. If you made it this far, man, 50 minutes in, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Sub up to South Stand as well. Link will be in the description. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, people.